everybody, doing a eating hard candy ramble here today. I haven't done one of these in a little bit. This is just the regular version. These are sugar-free. I'll be eating some of these and rambling. As I do. Figured I'd go no hat again on this video. But yeah, filming in the kitchen here tonight. There's a little bit of a glare popping off. I am tired. I did not sleep well. My heartburn and stuff is pretty brutal recently. I really just have to call a freaking doctor this week. Stop screwing around, but it's just not, certain days it's alright, but it's just like if I'm eating, I had seafood salad sandwiches for lunch. That was fine. Had a chicken burger for dinner, and that was causing a little bit of issue. It's not terrible right now. I had my aloe drink and been drinking milk from time to time. I got yogurts or the probiotic daily thing, the Activia probiotic dailies. I was gonna do an eating Subway video. I almost Ubered some Subway, but I was like, screw it. I don't know what order the video's going up, but I ended up eating peanut butter sandwiches for a video. So that could go up after this, it could go up before it. I don't know. How I want to go about that, I don't know, but yeah, just trying to be better with stuff and lay off the crap. I mean, you could, I take the over-the-counter omeprazole, which is only 20 milligrams. The prescription I had back in New York was 40. Sometimes that's what it takes. Like, well, this is weird. It's like it's so generalized, or not generalized, like the word would be. It's like right in here. It's very strange. You can feel it as a burn. It's pain. I don't know if I have like some swelling here. Like I said, I need to get it. I need to just get to the freaking doctor and stop being my typical self with this stuff. Because last year I had I was talking about it. I got the endoscopy and stuff, and that was fine. But I also had a chest X-ray up here because I was having the same thing last year. I probably talked about it on video. I should go back and see around those times, see if it matches up. But I was like right around here, same kind of thing. They didn't find anything with that either. They gave like the scan, whatever, a CT scan, whatever it was. And then I got the endoscopy. I mean, I took the stress tests. I remember telling you guys about that. Heart was working fine. Everything was fine. So it might be like an acute thing or whatever the wording is, to where I get it and it's brutal and I gotta just eat better consistently for it to kind of mellow out. But I really just need to go to the doctor. I was the same way in New York with the doctor, but once I started going, I had no problem doing all the other shit, but like a lot of people, making appointments and stuff. But I just it's frustrating. Anybody who deals with it in any sense, any kind of GERD, gastritis, esophagus shit, heartburn. There's so many things, right? But it can make things miserable. Like, it's like, you're just like, oh my god, I feel like crap, you know? You're sitting up, you can't sleep. And stuff. But a lot of times, like, even with, the funny thing is, even with the last year, with the, well, yes, it was still 24, duh. Up in New York, you know, when I got the endoscopy and all this stuff, nothing's found, right? And then it just goes away. So, okay, it's gone now. I eat like shit, I drink too much soda, whatever it may be. Alcohol. Alcohol is one of the key ones, right? I gotta just fucking cut shit. And, even in Florida, it was pretty bad. Like, part of me was like, I just want to be home sometimes, you know? And I'm sitting there eating Domino's and freaking Wendy's. I'm not helping the cause with that, right? And it could get worse. Like my stomach doctor, my gastroenterologist up there, you know, it's like you get Barrett's esophagus and stuff. You know, it could get bad and lead to more serious things. But I've been pretty good though lately, but the problem is certain things just will still do it, you know. Things you wouldn't expect to, but yeah, that was my fiance sneezing. I'm sure the mic picked that up. Like I said, I'm in the kitchen. She's in the bedroom, so I am filming this Sunday night, and it's a little change of scenery too. I gotta get some stuff for the wall in that back room. Maybe some like little video game pictures or something. I don't know. Spice it up a little. I do want to do the PlayStation Store. Browsing vid. I put the Xbox one up. That's doing well. My views took a dip. Like, I was on a 4-month run, similar to 22, and it was almost the same month. It was the same months. It wasn't as great of a run. July was incredible with the subs and everything. July, I literally did my best numbers on everything: views, money, and subs. Now, I was doing well on the subs, but then the collab with Restful Tingles, it gave me a boost from his, people from his channel came over. Once again, thank you, for the collab to him and all the new subs that I got. But I was doing, even before that, I was doing well, but that gave me a massive spike. Same thing was April, May, June, July. And then, like, tail end of July, it started, and then the start of this month, all of a sudden the views were like, it's like, oh, great. Thank you, YouTube, for throwing me in the recommendations for a little bit, and then you're just like, all right, you're done. Until 3 years later, for 4 months, you'll get back in there, maybe. I don't know. But I'm not even that I'm doing bad the first couple days of this month, but it goes back to kind of what my numbers were before, I go on these runs. Like I've said a million times, you can control your views if you are monetized. You can control what you're doing depending on what your sub count is. Obviously, things change as you get more views and stuff. You can control your views by the videos you put up, if it's a decent amount, or if you're putting up heavy hitters that view well, is great. But that controls the money as well. Sometimes, of course, with YouTube, certain months are not as good. If any of you have been monetized, January is always, at least on my end, is always January, February is the most months. But that's not to say I'm not doing well to start this month. I like talking to numbers sometimes. I'm always on the analytics, looking at stuff. seeing what is working and what isn't. It's funny, that's how I find other channels sometimes too, because I'll be like, stuff like yours. And then you see other videos. Oh, let me check that person out. But, did some more weeding today. Got a nice chunk done. I just go out there and fill up like one or two. I take the lawnmower bag because I don't use it on the lawn. And I just fill it up with the weeds and dump it in a bag or in the woods, however I feel. But I'll do like 2 bags, and I'm just like, because I'm sitting down doing it, and I'm just, you get older, you get a little more hurt. You get a little more hurty just from sitting down for like an hour. A lot of weeding around here. It's been cool though. The temperatures was like, it was disgusting for a good chunk of time, and then all of a sudden it's like into the 70s, like boom. And it's gonna stay there for a little bit. I think it pops back in the 80s. I'll take it. I like it. Because I get out there, I'm not sweating at all while waiting. Last week I did some. You're drenched in it in 5 minutes. You're just like, I have my specific clothes that I wear for the weeding or cutting the lawn. But when we go down to my mom's again in December, when we both go, obviously I just went last month. We're renting a van. We're gonna bring back stuff, pressure washer, hedge trimmer, a bunch of tools that she can't use, obviously, because I think I talked about, she's not in the best shape physically anymore. She's had multiple knee replacements on both knees over the years, and her back and everything. But I'm like, yeah, she's got all this stuff. This is my stepdad's stuff, obviously, but obviously he died in 21, so it's like, all right. I'm like, well, shit, man. There's this stuff. I brought some back. I brought some wrenches and screwdrivers back. Whatever that was, 3 weeks ago, whatever. I came back. But there's a lot of stuff. I need to grab the remainder of the coins as well that are down there. It figures I talked about how I brought, I think I did. I guess my stepdad had a sealed copy of GTA 5 and Halo Reach on the Xbox 360. So I grabbed them. I'm like, oh shit, I can sell these, whatever. Of course, the 360 GTA, I hear it rattling in there. I'm like, something's wrong. One, because it was a double disc game, and the one like little thing cracked, the plastic thing, because where the second disc holds, and it was just flopping around. I was like, that's useless. And then there's Reach is fine. Do I own Reach? Yeah, I do. Yes. I did a gameplay on it. I'm like, do I actually own Halo Reach? I do not know. I do. It's funny, there was a comment when I was in the browsing vid. I was talking about how Darksiders kind of just like disappeared, and then somebody commented, Dark Rising 4 is at the not Dark Rising. Darksiders 4 is coming out, and then I saw they did an announcement, I guess like 2 days ago. I'm like, of course, that figures, right? This franchise is done. There's a new game coming out. I don't keep track of that stuff much anymore. I know there's a Nintendo Direct recently. Not like I used to. I used to watch. I was on GameSpot, IGN. This is like, early 2000s, mid 2000s, into the 2010s. Then I went to Giant Bomb when they started, like 2008, I believe. It was people from, well, one guy, and then others came over from GameSpot. I still Jeff Gerstmann. He does his own thing now. But he's been ranking all the NES games the past couple of years, and I watched it. He does it like every Friday. He's awesome, like I said. I mean, I was watching him on GameSpot. Early 2000s. He was there even before that. And then when he started Giant Bomb, and then he left Giant Bomb. And I think some other guys bought Giant Bomb from whoever bought them, sold them. Now they're more just an independent thing. That's what they originally were, and then I think they were back with GameSpot under CBS or wherever, and whatever. I don't know the details, but he's awesome. He knows so much about games. Like, he has a ton of games, but he knows like so much about them. So you hear him talk about games, you're like, okay, he knows what he's talking about and stuff. He talks about like the industry side of it as well, going to the E3s and talking with developers and stuff. He has like prototype stuff and shit. Not the game, like prototype actual games before they were like fully released and stuff. They're just like a little cart without the casing and stuff. I like listening to people talk games that know about them and they have their own history with them and stuff. It's not like they're just reading a Wikipedia thing or some shit, you know. This is someone who's been in the games industry. You know, he wasn't making the games, but he was a journalist, reviewer and stuff for years. So, you know, he's giving you like his history and like his actual first-hand experience, not just like, I'm going to read off Wikipedia and stuff. Like, or whatever. Yeah. I always prefer that to the other stuff. A lot of those guys from those IGN and GameSpot. GameSpy was another one, I think. Game Pro and EGM are the magazines. I think EGM's actually back or something. But, you know, this is especially before YouTube. You know, now everybody's telling you their thoughts on these things. I do it as well, which is still cool as well. You know, you like hearing other people's thoughts about. So football is coming up. Probably a little over a month away now, right? Today's the 3rd. Augusto. The 3rd of Augusto. Apparently Lonnie Anderson died. Yeah, I'll finish up this one and I might ramble a little bit without hard candy for a few minutes. I'll try to extend this last piece out. Like I said, my friend is coming this week, going to see Weapons on Saturday. That'd be cool. That movie looks pretty cool. Naked Guns Out, people are liking that. There's a lot of decent movies out right now. I mean, Jurassic World, Rebirth still in there, Superman's still in the theater. Fantastic Four just come out a couple weeks ago. The Bad Guys 2. And then you can have Weapons, that movie together. There's a lot of solid sounding movies out. So that's fun. And the movie theater here is pretty cheap. Even their like full price ones are only like $9.75. But they'll have their matinees at like $6.50. Oh, that's up until like 4 o'clock. It's not like they don't have like the reclining seats. Like, you know, you push the button and the seats, you know. It's like kind of in between the old, really old school seats and the new ones. Still a solid theater though. It's nice that we have one in town because not every town has one, you know. And it's not like, in Long Island, Islip didn't have one when we were in Islip. Massapequa didn't. They did. They had one on Sunrise Highway in the 80s. Then that closed and became Infinity. And then they had the one in the mall up until 2000. I think it was 2000 or 2001. And then it was Farmingdale, which is still close. Seaford opened in 2000, close. Wherever you are on Long Island, you're going to have a movie theater within no more than like a 10-minute drive. Unless you live like all the way out east. So it's nice to have one here in Ashboro. Because I don't even know where the other closest one is. It's like Salisbury, so it's like 50 minutes away. There might be another one. Greensboro's got to have them, actually. I take that back. Greensboro definitely has movie theaters, I would assume. It was at 35 minutes. But still like going to the theater. It's nice. I'll just go for a few minutes here and be done with it. I said I hadn't done it already. Every time I'm in the store, I'm like, I gotta get some hard candy, and I finally just grabbed it today after forgetting like 20 times. What else to ramble about? The Rambler. I still gotta start up Fatal Frame. I still haven't. Every night I might want to start it up. I just don't. I'm really, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of losing interest in games a little bit. And this happens with anybody, right? I'll go through a stretch where I'm just not interested in playing games for a month or a couple of months. I barely touch a game. And then something comes, like Silent Hill F comes out, I'm going to be all over that, right? But right now, even the stuff I have, like, even the stuff I'm interested in playing, like, Fatal Frame I do want to play, though. Like, Oblivion, I was super pumped for. I get it, I'm playing, I'm enjoying it, and then I move away from it, and I gotta go back to that. I gotta start moving more of my games, honestly, because it's not even like I have a huge collection, but, like, what's the point? If I'm not gonna play this shit, it's gonna shit on a shelf. It's gonna sit on a shelf doing nothing. That reminds me of when I just said that. In 5th grade, I remember this was hilarious. Miss Doran was my teacher in Umpqua Elementary School. It's 5th grade, and this kid put his shirt on before, like, we were gonna go to recess, and the teacher was just gonna say, Craig, put your shirt away, but she said, Craig, put your shit away, and everybody was like, oh man, most of us were already cursing at that point. Get out of here, 10, 11 years old. Most of it. We started laughing, and she was like so embarrassed. She told us, like, she went and like called her mother on the lunch and was like, I cursed. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I loved elementary school. 5th grade was great. 5th grade was a lot like 11th for me. Like, I still had a year left of elementary school because in Massapequa, because usually middle school is 6th, 7th, 8th, and then high school is 9, 10, 11, 12. In my town, because there's a lot of people in the schools, they have like 5 or 6 elementary schools in Massapequa, but it was 1 through 6th, and then it was 7th, 8th, and 9th were middle. They were in their own school. That was Burner, and then 10th, 11th, and 12th were in Massapequa High School. But it's changed now. My friends have kids, and now it's like a school. There's one school that is just 9th grade now. Burner is just 7th and 8th. No, Burner actually is 6th, 7th, and 8th now. So they've actually almost corrected it. But the 9th grade has its own school, and then 10th, 11th, 12th is still in the regular high school. Because the school's not big enough for the amount of people. Over time, it's just more and more. But what are you going to do? I was in the alternative program in high school, and I was partially out of it in the regular school, as I said. The rubber room, as it was called, the people that were in there. I was in there because I didn't like school. I've talked about this a ton with me in school, and I stopped going in 8th grade. Then I came back, and then I did it again in 9th. Moved in with my dad. I stopped going there, and then that's when I talked about that stuff with the psychologist. I'm the way I am because I only lived with women and shit. And then I went to the alternative program, and then I kind of in 11th grade took a couple classes out and stuff. But good old high school, right? Good times. Then I started getting panic attacks in like 12th grade. But anyway, I am going to stop that there. 25 minutes here, because I don't feel like eating any more of the hard candy. 4 I feel is enough. I don't have a problem whispering for a minute or two thereafter, but yeah.